So if I can jump in again. So Adam, we constantly at Defenders USA, we preach about the legality of using a gun in defense of life. But to me, that comes across all platforms. Would you talk to us quickly about the legalities? And I know it's different state to state, but not very much. But you talk about the legalities of using a knife in defense of life. And I'm going to bet it's pretty much the same thing as with a gun.
Yeah. Yep. So you're spot on with that, Adam. So if you're going to cause grievous bodily harm or death to somebody or using a knife, you're basically going to stop somebody by using a knife. You've raised that level of force up to deadly force, same as it is with a handgun. So you need to be able to articulate when you use a knife the same way you would with a gun. So one way to look at is the 4 general rules. Do they have the ability to cause me harm or death? Do they have the opportunity? Is there imminent jeopardy? Is it happening at this moment? And have I exhausted all their means? So if I have those 4 kind of playing through my head of, hey, this person has taken it up to this level where I'm potentially going to die right now if I don't do something to stop this person from killing me, or in the defense of others. So self-defense and defense of others. If you don't do something in that moment, then that's a justification to be able to use deadly force. One thing that's kind of interesting is the more that I study, the more that I train, the more that I go to classes, the more that I learn, the less I want to ever have to use a knife in self-defense. Same thing with a gun. So I find myself a lot being, maybe I'll go out in public, and if there's somebody that's rude, like a while back, I went and watched the Rocky movie came out. Can't remember, the Apollo Creed or whatever it is, the newer one. And there was a lady sitting there, and I had my grandfather, and I was saving him a seat, and the lady came up behind and she took the seat that I was saving for my grandfather. And it kind of makes you upset a little bit, like, hey, lady. And then she took it up to a level. And then I just had to think for a second, it's like, it's not even worth arguing. So I just took a whole nother seat somewhere else. And that's the unfortunate thing, but it's also the best self-defense is never having to use anything at all. And maybe I had a worse seat, but does it really matter in the long run? Not really.
Yeah. So words of wisdom here, right? I mean, there's nothing more terrifying than actually having to use violence after you've done it once or twice, right? Once you've had to do it, there's nothing cool about it. There's nothing sexy about it. There's nothing fun about it. And it doesn't matter if it's the moment or the litigious or the emotional aftermath afterwards. Folks, if you can learn from this man, go learn from this man, because if you can avoid the fight in the first place, best thing you can do is avoid the fight. If you can't, you need to know how to use your tools right. And boy, when it comes to knives and fighting, learn from Adam.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate that.